Welcome to the EntireVariety Show, where we bring you live performances, thought leaders, fun, and a little bit of magic to wherever you are. I'm Natasha Miller, Chief Experience Designer of Entire Productions, and your host for this show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. So good to see everyone here. With technology changing, we have a little bit of an extra new glitch, and I won't explain why it is happening, but some of you, your name reads my name, Natasha Miller. So if it does, please look at your face, and right above it to the right are 3 dots, and you can change your name to whatever you want to be. If you would like to continue being me, that's fine too. And let's see, I think everyone's just being allowed in right now. Lee, I don't know. I have a good life, but I don't know if you'd actually want to be me. So anyway, I just want to tell you, per every episode, they're all different. They're all completely different. Very excited about this one because we have very special guests. And in this episode, you can expect to meet an albino alligator, learn about a brand new brewery in Oakland, and be delighted and dazzled and blown away by a mentalist illusionist. So Christophe Lay and Claude, Mario and Chaz and Wayne is who we're going to be meeting with this day on this event. Right now, if you click, there are a couple of icons on the very top right so that you can see things in full presenter mode or in grid view so you can see everybody. If you're not on Zoom all the time, this might be new to you. Also, there's a chat feature in the middle. And if you want to test it out, you can just say, everything's going to be okay, Natasha, and we can all chat together. And the question I've been asked is, yes, we've been asked from our clients and the people that watch the show, yes, we can program this variety show for you. We can do it simply like we're doing tonight on Zoom, or we can also do it in a much more robust, much more expensive way, in a more broadcast quality way. So if you love it, let us know. And tonight we have a special addition to the show. We had it last time. It's really cool. It's a virtual photo booth. So thank you so much to Giggle and Riot for this. There's a link in the chat. And if you want to, let's see, do we have that link up there yet? That link will happen here soon. Bennett, yeah, there you go. You can just click that link, do your photo, pose for it. There's a couple of borders, but then come back to the Zoom, to this event so that you can watch what's going on. We'll see all your pictures after, but you're welcome to post them. So let's see, where are we in the show? We are about to announce the first segment. So our first guest is celebrating his birthday this month. He's a rare one and quite the celebrity here in San Francisco. To introduce him, please welcome Christophe Lay of the Cal Academy, who will tell you more.
Hello, everybody. I'm Christophe Lay from the California Academy of Sciences, and we're so happy to be virtually with you tonight. So thank you, Natasha and your team. This is amazing to be here. Love your shows. It's amazing every time. I have so much fun. So tonight we're just going to talk to you about stories about Claude, our albino alligator. It's his birthday, and we have a special guest, Anna Kennedy, that's going to tell us a lot about Claude. And we're going to be with you for 7-8 minutes. So if you have questions, like Natasha said, put them in the chat and we'll try to go through them as fast as we can. But let's get started. And I would like to welcome Anna Kennedy. She's our special program manager at the Academy. Born and raised in the Bay Area herself, she fell in love with the Academy on the kindergarten school field trip. She got inspired and pursued a bachelor and master's of science in wildlife, fish, and conservation biology. Anna, welcome. Tell us everything about Claude.
Thank you, Christophe, and hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to be with you all tonight and to introduce you to our unofficial Academy mascot, Claude. So first off, quick shout out to our birthday boy. He is officially 25, although he's celebrating in a slightly quieter fashion this year, as anyone who has had a birthday during this pandemic can likely also attest to. Now, there are a few things that make Claude one of the most beloved and unique alligators on Earth. I like to say that he's one in a million, and that's not an exaggeration. So Claude, he's an American alligator, and he has a few gator qualities that some of us can also relate to. For example, Claude, he's lived in several different places over the course of those 25 years so far. He actually hatched down on an alligator farm in Louisiana, and then he moved to Florida for about 12 years. Because one of the really special things about this alligator is he is albino. All that means is that he's unable to produce melanin, which is essentially skin pigment that give most alligators their dark green skin color. But without melanin, his eyes, or the skin actually, it's made up of these layers of translucent scales, which is why he appears white to our eyes. But speaking of his eyes, you might notice here that they do look a little bit pink or red. That's very typical of albino animals. So what we're seeing here are actually his clear irises, the blood vessels behind those irises. And unlike humans, sometimes we have red eyes from too much computer time or lack of sleep after a little too much Netflix. But for albino alligators, they get a little funky from time to time with green algae on their skin, and you can see a little bit of that here on Claude's skin. And that's actually one of the reasons why they don't thrive in natural swamps. So Claude, you can see him paddling around here in his swamp, and he's under human care with us because he doesn't actually have the ability to blend in. I love this here. So what we're seeing is Claude actually getting a little bath, so he has a little spa day of sorts to keep him from getting too much of that algae, too much of that gator funk. But I was saying alligators, if they're albino, they don't actually thrive in natural swamps because they can't blend in. So Claude would stick out like a sore thumb if you were living in a swamp down in the southeastern United States, and he probably would have been eaten by something much larger than him when he was quite young. If he had been able to grow to full size, which we're seeing here, he'd probably have a lot of skin issues and a hard time finding lunch himself. And that's because alligators, they're what we call ambush or sit and wait predators. And so what that means is without the ability to camouflage, and then they sit and they normally wait for most of their meal to do most of the work. It's a natural behavior. And it's why Claude does spend quite a bit of time chilling and, chilling in the water and not doing backflips off of his heated rock. You can see Claude here. He's getting a nice meal, a large rodent. Alligators not living under human care can actually go for months and months without eating if they have to. But here at the Academy, he is fed somewhere between 1 and 2 pounds of food about once a week. Generally, that contains, we're seeing him eat a fish here, generally fish, rodents, and some kind of special vitamin-rich meat gel. Sounds delicious. This gator, he weighs about 275 pounds, so he is large, and he measures a little over 10 feet in length, from the tip of his snout all the way to the tip of his tail. Here we're seeing Claude with one of his swamp mates. He's had quite a few different swamp mates over the years, and living with others, it can be rewarding and challenging. I love this face. So what we're looking at here is an alligator snapping turtle. There are 4 of them that currently live in the swamp, and I think they've learned to get along pretty well for the most parts. But when Claude first moved to the Academy, he actually didn't arrive alone. So he took a 4-day road trip with a lady gator named Bonnie. Bonnie and Claude, they were lowered down into the swamp in a couple of these transport containers, and they got to know each other. Things did go south rather quickly. One thing I didn't mention when I talked about Claude's red eyes is that albino animals generally can't see very well, and Claude is no exception. And so he started to bump into Bonnie pretty regularly. And after one bump too many, she took a nice bite out of one of his toes. So Bonnie then, she headed back to Florida, and Claude forever has a little missing pinky toe to remember her by. Now, from time to time, Claude also takes a field trip of sorts out of the swamp, and it does take a whole team of biologists and engineers to safely move this gator in one of these special transport containers that we're seeing here. Where does Claude go, you might wonder? Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. He has a vacation home behind the scenes of the aquarium. You can see Claude slowly moving on his own accord, mind you, with a vocal cue from one of the biologists, and then using a little gator water slide to get down into that tank behind the scenes. You can see a little bit of that algae there on his skin and his eyes really nicely. All right, thank you, Claude. Happy birthday. And with that, I'll turn it back on over to Christoph to tell us what's next.
Well, thank you, Anna. That was fun. Well, I'm gonna look if we have any questions for you. There's a lot of happy birthday for him. Um, People were asking if he was wagging his tail for his favorite person. One thing I know, our biologists actually created a sound cue for Claude to listen to them, and that's pretty incredible. It was created at the Academy. But I have a question for you, Anna. How old can an alligator like Claude live in the wild or in captivity?
Definitely. So if Claude were living not under human care, he wouldn't be alive based on his skin color. He definitely sticks out like a sore thumb. Alligators in the wild that are not albino, though, they can generally live anywhere from 20 to 50 years is not too uncommon. Under human care, Claude could live almost as long as humans, so generally about 80 years old.
And we have a question from Katie. She's asking us, when is Claude the happiest ever?
Ooh, well, I could say when I visit him, but I would, to give a little bit more of a truthful answer, I would say it's meal time. He looks pretty happy to me.
And Halloween is coming, and we give him actually a pumpkin that he actually shares with the snapping turtle. So the pumpkin is floating in the tank, and they share the pumpkin. It's so cool to see that. So I've seen him very active during Halloween. We have another. No, I mean, he doesn't get very snappy with his handler, I think. Anna, the question was, is he very snappy with his handler? I've never seen that really happen.
No, I think, our biologists, they work really hard over, quite a few years to develop wonderful relationships to all of the animals that live at the Academy. We actually have close to 40,000 live residents that live with us at the museum. And so Claude, I think one of his favorite humans of all time is one of our biologists, Vicky. She's wonderful. And
I love her too. Well, I think it's time for some trivia question. I love trivia, so I think it's time. So you're going to see a pop-up on your screen, and I'm going to read the prompt, and then let's see how well you know alligators. So alligators typically have between 74 to 80 teeth in their mouth at a time. How many teeth can alligators go through their lifetime? 1,700, 2,500, 3,000, 7,000? Go and vote now. And we'll share the results soon. Vote, vote, vote. That's a lot of teeth already. Jesus. All right. Let's see the results. All right. And the winner is, wow, you guys are right. It's 3,000 teeth. Can you believe the money this guy could get with the tooth fairy? That's crazy. I mean, that's amazing. Well, let's go for another question. Let's see.
Christoph, before we jump to the next question, I do have a tooth here
sorry.
for you. So this is actually a crocodile tooth from the Academy's collections. So crocodiles and alligators, they're essentially cousins. So alligator teeth are just a little bit smaller than this, and they use them for gripping and also tearing food, and they're constantly being replaced. So they get worn down, sometimes they fall out. And what I love about this tooth is you can see it's actually hollow. So the tooth below starts to actually grow up into this tooth. I can't imagine growing several thousand of these in my lifetime. It sounds exhausting.
Yeah, me neither. That's crazy. All right, well, we can go to the next question. Let's see. All right, how many minutes can an alligator snapping turtles, remember the roommate of Claude, can be submerged underwater without going to the surface for air? 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 35 minutes, or 50 minutes? Let's vote. Let's vote. All right, let's share the results. 50 minutes, you're incredible. 50 minutes is the right answer. I cannot even run for 50 minutes. So going underwater for 50, that's crazy. Anna, do you have anything else to talk about the snapping turtles?
I do. I have another friend here. So this is actually a skull of an alligator snapping turtle of a male. The males are massive. They can grow up to be about 200 pounds in size. You can see they have these really powerful kind of beak-like jaws. And one of my favorite things about alligator snapping turtles is they have this bizarre adaptation because they're actually ambush predators, just like our friend Claude. So they sit under the water and they wait, and they actually keep their mouths open, and hanging off the tip of their tongues, they actually have this bright red kind of fleshy projection that looks like a worm. And so they sort of wiggle that wormy bit around, and they wait for a curious fish or frog to come nice and close, and then snap, they eat. So kind of like the original meal delivery service, maybe, right to the front door. I don't know.
Well, better than DoorDash, right? Well,
At times.
anyways, so thank you so much for this, Anna. It's incredible. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Natasha. The Academy will open sometimes in October. We'll keep you posted. Thank you for having us so much tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys were great. This really made a great start of the night. And moving on, I want to see in the chat, has anyone taken their photo booth picture and then made it back to the Zoom? Anybody? We'll do it. I think the link will be open all night, and ooh, I'm getting an upload from someone. So yes, people are doing it. It's really cool. You can do a burst, so it makes it into a GIF or a GIF, depending on how you pronounce it, or you can do just one static and really pose. So, oh, and Samantha Smith is on. Samantha, she did hers. Samantha, you can download it for yourself, and then we actually get the gallery, so we can post it. So don't do anything weird or inappropriate. Anyway, next up, we have Chaz Hubbard and Mario Benjamin. They're Oakland natives. They've been friends for the past 10 years. Chaz is a filmmaker, photographer, and devoted father of two. He began home brewing beer 10 years ago, but took a break to focus on family, career, and entrepreneurship. That's a lot. And then Mario is an engineer by profession, a cook by heart, a serial entrepreneur, and a devoted family man too. He started home brewing with a small kit he got for Christmas, and only brewed for fundraisers for his son's school until now. So welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Woo. Mario,
thank you.
Too? Yeah, okay, cool. So I would love to know from you guys a lot of things, but I've narrowed it down to a few things. When did you guys realize you wanted to create a business from crafting beer?
Yeah, I mean, definitely started as a hobby. You know, we both love beer. Many people love drinking beer, but we wanted to figure out, you know, how we can make this, how we can take these ingredients, you know, malted barley, yeast, water, and hops and create this liquid gold, you know. So we got to work, you know, just having fun and put some recipes together. And then we're doing like homebrew competitions where we actually got to see how people, you know, reacted to what we were creating, and like, wow, this is great. Like, you did a great job. And I was like, oh, I thought it was just okay, you know, but if people are liking it, then, you know, we just kept it going, and more folks liked it. You know, so that definitely gave us the drive, and, you know, to be like, you know, this could be something that we could actually create. We already love doing it. And that's the first thing you should do when going into a business, and is, you know, love what you're doing. You know, so we went into just thinking, you know, going through some research, seeing what's going on in Oakland, and if there was a Black beer, you know, industry. And, you know, sadly it isn't. There's only 60 Black breweries in the whole country out of 8,000. So that's an extremely small percentage. All the math folks can do the math. And then there's actually none in Oakland.
Wow.
Only one in the Bay Area, which was recently purchased within the last 3 years. So, you know, we feel like in Oakland, you know, is where we're from. And it used to be a Black city. Things are changing, but we definitely want to be part of that change and you know, stake a claim to our hometown. So that just gave us more ambition to just, you know, do this.
Was this, Mario, was this born, the business part born out of the COVID lockdown?
Definitely. It gave us more focus, like what Chad said. It gave us definitely more drive to upscale it and see how we could push this forward, especially creating a space where we can an avenue to create some type of you know, alternate form of income, as well as creating some type of generational wealth. You know, letting our kids know how important it is to have your own business, and how it is important to stake your claim into having something of your own. And being both of us being fathers, you know, we want to make sure that they can see that, yeah, we drink beer, but at the same time, it's something that we can use as a way to show how important it is to not only brew something or do something that you love, but it can also go back to the community that we grew up in, and we can be part of that.
That's amazing. So you guys are going to be launching officially later this year. What are the biggest hurdles that you're enduring and experiencing right now?
Well, we're still in the growing phases. We are in the process of collabing with a local brewery. We should have something available before the end of this year, canned up, ready to go. And we're also in talks with a couple of other local breweries, not only in Oakland, but also around the Bay Area, and developing those relationships. And you know, we think that we can definitely be available by year's end to the beginning of next year.
Chaz, what is one of the things that is like hanging you up or really challenging with this whole launch?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a completely, you know, new industry for us, and with working with alcohol and trying to sell it, there's certain licensing that you need to get from the government and the state. You know, so that's a big holdup. Not having a location would be a big holdup as well. But like Mario said, you know, we're trying to approach it by, you know, building relationships with other local breweries, collaborating on pieces so we can get our branding out and they can, you know, kind of boost their branding up. You know, because some you know, breweries have their branding down and are really good at it, and others don't really tell their story that well, but they make really good beer, you know? So this is an opportunity for us to work together. Yeah, so doing that, collaboration beers, and then, you know, the goal is to, start contracting, and then, you know, we're not without having an actual space, but we'll be able to like get it in local pubs, get it in local tap rooms, and, you know, the crazy thing is the beer community is like really gracious. Like once people knew what we were doing and saw like how we were moving, they actually reached out to us like, oh, I want to meet you guys. Like, how can I help? You know, it's like CEOs and owners of various breweries. And it's like we weren't expecting this. And when we like go visit them, they're like, hey, we want to do a collaboration with you. And it's like, yeah. So we're just kind of just got to keep pushing and keep the momentum going. You know, I see Mango Habanero. Yeah, that's, you know, that, you know, we want to have as a flagship. You know, it's light.
Katie has a question. Katie put up a question that I think is good. I'm sure everyone's wondering, do you have plans to distribute to local ale houses, which you talked about, or do you just want your beers exclusively sold at your location? Will they be in stores? Like,
I think I did
next year?
Oh yeah, well, ideally, you know, of course, we want to distribute locally. You know, what we want tap rooms that we can build these relationships with, or breweries that we can build these relationships with, to get our brand out in the way that we do styles of beers. We want people to try them, and we want them to enjoy them. But and the overall goal is to make Oakland a destination. You know, just like every place has their own destination brewery that they get to go to. the ultimate goal would definitely be to have a destination for people to come and enjoy what Oakland has to offer, and that it's not only diverse. Well, it should be as diverse as it is in population, but it should also be as diverse when it comes to this ownership.
Yeah.
Having a claim in commercial real estate,
Yeah.
and having more support by not only just Black people, but just everybody. And we just want to create that space.
You know what? I didn't plan on saying this, but there's a great organization that I've actually been the recipient of great advising by, and it's called Pacific Community Ventures, and they help entrepreneurs in their businesses. They're local in the Bay Area. I can connect you. I can connect any entrepreneur to them. You can also connect on your own. But let's see if we can unmute Lori Shepard. She has a question. She doesn't know that we're unmuting her. And if you can unmute yourself, Lori, go ahead.
Here.
What's your question?
The question is, this is a great idea, and I wanted to know, are there any plans for Hella Oakland to go and have some tastings on site? I know once, maybe even some social distancing tastings, or once the shelter-in-place quarantine has been lifted?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing that we did actually while we were taking pictures of one of the beers, which was the Orange Kolsch, we were doing it at Lake Merritt. And then, somebody came up to us and was like, "Oh, what are you guys doing? Like, we're really into beer." And, we told him who we were. And he was basically the head of like East Bay Beer Runners, which is an organization that, goes to a bar, runs 3 miles, comes back, and then they have a great time. So we actually did, just kind of like a pop-up tasting event with them at the lake, where they came by, met us. We did a quick meet and greet. Maybe about a quarter of them ran. The rest of them stayed back, and, we brought 2 kegs out and, received a good amount of donations too. Cause we're at the phase where we actually can't sell it, but donations are welcome. So yeah, it was great to get, feedback and just get the brand out there and really see what hardcore, beer drinkers think about what we're producing, rather than it being our friends or family who are always going to say, "Oh, that's good." Yeah. We want to see what other people think.
Well, let's unmute Kelly Ramirez. She has a question too. Sorry, Annalisa, I didn't tell you that we were going to do this, but.
Hi, my question just was, will you guys be selling the beer once you guys get into place? Like some of these breweries, they sell 6-packs to go, things like that.
Yes. Once we get things negotiated with who we are contracting with and collabing with to get us into stores and also into tap rooms, then we'll definitely have that access to.
Well, awesome. Well, I'll be here to support you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Sounds like you guys have a lot of support already, and then everyone on this call will help put the word out. Freddie said something about I Peep a Red Bay T-shirt. Any collabs with them? Coffee out.
So that's in the works. Actually, the shirt that I have on is very similar to the Red Bay logo, but this is actually Black Brew Culture. And we have to give a big shout out to them. It's Black Brew Culture / Black Brew Couture. And they helped us with getting our merch together. Got our mask. The shirt that I have on right here is it's very close. But we would love to do a collaboration with Red Bay and possibly do a stout with them.
Okay, Freddie, hook them up.
Yeah.
So the last question I have for you guys is, what are your plans for the business? Like the big plans, the big, hairy, audacious goal?
Not sell out to Budweiser? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Make great beer that we are not only the consumers, but we're the owners. We want to make sure that people who taste and try our beer that they enjoy them as much as we do. But considering, you know, losing my mind here, we wanted to start off with developing those relationships, but we want to work together with them to build diversity, equity, and inclusion in the craft brew industry, and bring that to the forefront. That in order for a business to be successful, you got to incorporate diversity, equity, and inclusion. And because of the way that we're moving and the media and the content that we put up on our site and on our website and also on Instagram, we got recognized by the Bay Area Brewers Guild, and now we are we're now members of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, which gives us access to those big breweries. So I have to give a big shout out to them. Big shout out to, of course, Black Brew Culture. And then also there's a small nonprofit that helps Black-owned businesses to get them to the next level. And I have to say, Occur was we were pretty surprised, but at the same time we weren't. We're very humbled that we were able to get that small business grant to help. That's amazing. Yeah. Get our business. So basically, we wanted to make sure that we create a space for BIPOC. If anyone doesn't know what BIPOC means, it means Black and Indigenous and other peoples of color, and all nationalities of any religious background, any sexual orientation. We want them to feel welcomed, and we want to have meaningful conversations. We just don't want to make a space where people that just go and they just want to drink. We want to have training sessions and things that will enlighten people's mind, make sure that they think differently on when not only are you drinking beer, but you're developing relationships and you're breaking down barriers and you're getting these conversations going that are very important, especially right now.
It's like the intellectual beer salon.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. I want Chaz to.
I was just going to ask Chaz, we're getting questions in the chat about social media. So what are your social media places and what are your handles?
Yeah. Hello.
Uh-oh. Wi-Fi. Mario, you want to take it over?
Yes. So you can find our website is www.hellacoastal.com. Our handle on Instagram is @HellaCoastal. Our Twitter is also @HellaCoastal. And then we have a website, a YouTube page where we upload our video content, which is also, you just do a search on Hella Coastal and then you'll find us there. Also, as we continue to move forward, we're getting a lot of great feedback and a lot of great support. So if anyone wants to give some support to get us to that level, you can also reach out through our Venmo @HellaCoastal.
You make it easy for everyone. That's awesome. Thank you both so much. And I want to let everyone know that they are going to do a giveaway of a Hella Coastal mask and shirt. So I want to know in the chat, who is the most diehard beer fanatic here? And Madeline from my team is going to select from the responses. Okay, we've got a couple of responses. Oh gosh, I don't know if you can see those responses. Okay, Madeline, you can choose from the list.
There's more.
Gosh. I'm getting pings from everywhere. I'm getting instant messages, emails. Everyone's like, me. Lee Dyson, beer for breakfast. That's wonderful. Anyway.
Fanatic, but Kelly Ramirez did get everybody else to the punch.
Okay, Kelly, you are the winner. So we'll get your information and we'll make sure that the guys send it out to you. So thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you being on the show.
Who designed those face masks?
So I just want to do another reminder. There's some new people that have just logged on, that there's a link for you to go to. And guess what?
Thank you.
You can get your photo taken with a frame around it that says EntireVariety Show, but also Hella Coastal. So it can be your souvenir for tonight. Okay, we are gearing up for the next segment. So Wayne Hoffman is a mentalist, an illusionist that has traveled the world presenting his mind-reading abilities to millions of people. He has performed in over 73 different countries and is ranked one of the top mentalists in the world. He has appeared on NBC's Phenomenon, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, CNN, and France and America's Got Talent. Please welcome Wayne Hoffman.
All right. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. And I can see all of you on my monitor right here in front of me. So tonight, I'm actually going to reach through the screen and I'm going to attempt to read some of your minds and show you what I do in the virtual world. And let's get started right now. I want to make sure you guys are awake. So if you're holding something, you'll have to put it down and try this with me. I want you to take your thumbs down and your palms out, just like this, and touch the backs of your hands together. All right, very good. Mario's got it. Christoph's got it. Now put your left arm over your right arm. All right, and if you've been drinking some Hella Coastal tonight, it's like this. That way there's no confusion. All right, we got you. You guys are in it. Now grab your fingers together, actually interlock them, and go a little bit up, and go a little bit down, and now try this without letting go. And take your time, because it's absolutely impossible to do. So if you weren't able to do that one, that's okay, because nobody ever is. But I want you to try this instead. Go like this. All right, now go like this. And just keep doing that over and over again. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It looks like a live audience. Sorry, I needed to. So now that I've gotten one round of applause, I'm going to have to earn the next. But I need to borrow one of you in order to do it. So if you want to volunteer, you can do one of two things. You can either raise your hand or go down and click the thumbs up reaction button here within the Zoom room. And we're going to randomly pick one of you and pull you in. So I see Kate was the first thumbs up that I saw. So you have the ability to unmute yourself from what I understand. So if you have the ability to unmute yourself, you can do that now. Or if the host wants to, we're gonna unmute you so that I can hear you. And I'm gonna try to read your mind. So there you go. How are you, Kate?
I'm good. I love magic.
You're at the right place at the right time. So I'm going to try something with you, and I'm going to try to predict something that you're about to think of. Now, I'm going to write something down just for you, but what I need you to do is this. I need you to imagine you go into a convenience store like a 7-Eleven. And I want you to imagine you go up to the register with some junk, you know, some drinks and stuff, and you get some change back and you get some like a receipt back, you know, but remember, you're paying in cash.
Okay.
Or credit cards, you're getting some change back. Now I've written something here that I believe you're about to think of. We'll see if I'm right. Now I'm going to come up to this close-up camera so you guys can see the back of the prediction. Now I'm not going to turn this around just yet, but I have something written here for you, and we're going to see if I'm right. I want you to tell us all out loud, how much change did you get back at the store from whatever you purchased? Make something up and just say it out loud.
32 cents.
Now you could have said anything up to $1 million. I didn't really give you any type of limitation, but do you find this weird? It says you will say 32 cents. Shut the front door.
Wow.
Well done, Kate. Let's give her a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. So many things, so little time. So let's keep it moving and grooving. I'm going to try something now that all of you can enjoy. I'll tell you a short story. I grew up in Reading, Pennsylvania. And when I was there, I went on a road trip with my buddy to St. Louis, Missouri. We drove, I think it was like 14 hours to see where he grew up. And while I was there, I actually encountered a guy who was a con man, a street hustler. And there's a fine line between sleight of hand artists and con men. It's one of those things where they have similar skill sets. Now, I've seen these people doing this stuff in literally all over the world, anywhere where there's tourists. I've seen it in London, Paris, out in Vegas. I've seen it in New York, St. Louis. And now I'm going to show you a version for you to play. The cool part is you don't even have to bet any cash. It's just for fun. And it involves 3 cards. So once again, I'm going to give you a close-up view of the cards so everybody can see. And all you have to do is keep your eye on the 3 cards. So I have the 3 of clubs, the ace of hearts, and the 2 of clubs. Your job, if you choose to accept it, is very simple. All you have to do is follow the ace. Right here, all you have to do is keep your eye on the ace of hearts. Now, it's the middle card, so don't lose track of it. Now, just in case you didn't have your cup of coffee or your Red Bull today, I'm going to go super slow so you can keep your eyes on it. So keep your eyes on the ace. Now, again, I know it might be one of those difficult things for some of you, so I'll even give you a little hint. All right? Don't take your eyes off of the ace. Now, I want you to take a guess right now, just in your own mind, of where you think the ace is, okay? And imagine how much you would bet on where it is. $5, $1,000, all your life savings. Now, for some reason, most people think it's over here, and I haven't figured out why yet, because the ace was over there. Now, if you weren't able to follow it, don't worry. Nobody really ever is. It just means you're one of those people that would have been fleeced of all of your money. So let's keep it moving and grooving. Right now, I'm going to show you some of the mind reading, which is normally done live, but it translates right here through the screen. Now, in order to do this one, I'm going to need one of you to participate, but here is the perfect participant. If you happen to have a secondary device with you, let's say you're watching this on your desktop or laptop, but you also happen to have a web-enabled smartphone, like an iPhone or an Android with you, and you want to volunteer, you'd be the perfect participant. So all you got to do is raise your hand like this or click the thumbs up reaction button, and I'm going to pull one of you in and try a little mind reading experiment with one of you. So I see Molly going to town. You can't miss Molly. She's blazing. I love the hair. So we're going to unmute you, or you have I think maybe the ability to unmute yourself. And as soon as you're unmuted, there we are. How are you, Molly?
Good.
Sweet. So question, do you have a smartphone with you?
Yeah.
2 more things. Do you have signal, and do you have battery? Are you?
Yes.
Cool. As long as you have energy and you have signal, we're good to go. So what I want you to do right now is open up Google. So the app or the web browser. Now, Molly's the only one that has to do this. You guys can sit back, relax, and enjoy. So let me know when you have Google up.
Yes, Google.
Now, I'm going to open up my calculator here in a second on my phone. But in the meantime, what I want you to type into Google is the following phrase. I want you to type in how many words on Wikipedia. And we're all familiar with Wikipedia. If you're not, it's basically an encyclopedia where we, the people of the world, can put articles of stuff on there. Now, as soon as you type in how many words on Wikipedia and the search results pop up, I just want you to let me know when all the websites pop up.
Yes.
Great. So now there is actually a site that keeps a live count to the millisecond right now of how many articles and words are on Wikipedia. And my broadcast manager, Hector, can you type into the chat? Because I don't have the website memorized. He has it memorized. He's going to type to you in the Zoom chat the website, and I want you to look for it. It's usually in the top 5 links, so it should be fairly easy to find. And once you find that, I want you to click it and open it up, and let me know when you've opened it up. She's getting there. She's swiping right on Tinder. Don't lie, Molly. No, I'm joking. Okay, you opened it up. Now, I think the last time I checked when I was on, there were 5.9 million articles on Wikipedia. Did it break over 6 million yet or not yet?
It did.
Okay, so we're over 6 million articles. Now, here's the cool part. Underneath that, and I'm doing this all from memory, in a little paragraph below, it'll tell you on average how many words are in each article. If you find that, tell us all out loud how many words are in each article.
Average of approximately 1,078 words per article.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my calculator here, and I'm going to enter in, you said 1,078?
Yes.
Okay, so 1,078, and I'll just multiply it by 6 million. We don't need an exact number. This will tell us right now, at this exact moment, how many words are on Wikipedia. So I'll bring it up to the close-up camera so you guys can see this. Check it out. That's, what is that? 6.4 billion words on Wikipedia right now. 6.4 billion. So Molly, what I want you to do next, and again, this is just from memory. I think below that, there's a big link. It says visit Wikipedia. Yep, so click that. And now it's your time to shine. When it loads, in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a little magnifying glass, a little search field. I want you to tap that. And I want you now to type in and search anything you want that would have a Wikipedia article on it. It could be like dolphins or Paris or Swiss cheese or potassium. Literally the most random thing you could think of, whatever you want. It could be a famous historical figure. It could be a city, maybe the city you were born in. As soon as the article pops up, I want you to scroll to the middle of the article and very quickly memorize a long word and then put your phone face down, preferably a word that has nothing to do with the article at all. So quickly find a word and put your phone face down.
A long word?
Yep, a pretty long word, longer the better. And then put your phone face down. You got one?
Yes.
Okay, now whatever you just picked is totally random. Even if I were in the room looking over your shoulder at all the words you were looking at, there's still no way I could know where your eyes went. If you would have went one word to the right, one word up or down, you'd be thinking of something completely different. But now things start to get a little weird. Think of it. I'm going to try to figure out exactly what you're thinking. Now, automatically, I'm getting two different things. I'm getting two different letters from you. Weird question. When you were going to pick a word, did you almost pick a different word?
Yes.
I know. Because I'm getting letters from two different words. Now, I'm not sure which one you ended on. Does the word that you're thinking of right now, does it start with a letter R?
No.
Okay, what's the first letter?
A.
Okay, because maybe there's an R in the other word. I don't know. Just think of it. Say it over and over in your mind. Okay, I'm getting a D out of your mind. Keep thinking. Something like this. I'll tell you what, I have one word in the English language. We calculated there were how many billions of words on Wikipedia. I think I have the one you're thinking of written right here. I'm going to come up to the close-up camera so you guys can see the back of this. Now, in a moment, what's going to happen is I'm going to count to 3, and at the same time, I'm going to turn this around, and you're going to say the word you're thinking of out loud, and we're going to see if they match. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Advantages.
Just like that. Out of every single word you could have thought of, you went with this one. I saw it in your mind. Now, don't ask. I don't know. So, weird question. You picked this randomly. I presume it has nothing meaningful in your life. It was just totally random. But let me ask you this. You found this randomly in an article and something. Out of a curiosity, what was the article about? What was your initial thought?
Bubblegum.
Bubblegum. You know, I had a feeling you might think of that tonight.
Wow.
Crazy. Mind equals blown. Let's give Molly a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. Thank you for thinking of bubblegum. It's one of my favorites. I enjoy Big League Chew, ground ball grape, which is the same color as your hair. Big fan of the purple. So now we are going to try something else. And this one is my favorite. Now, during my full show, we're not going to do the full show tonight, but I'm using tools like social media, even email. We're using people's items in people's homes, and it's kind of very hands-on. But for now, I just wanted to showcase something. And truly the reason is I think it really drives home why I do what I do. And it's one of my favorites. Now, everybody here can remember being a kid and things from your past. Well, right now I'm going to bring up some slides and show you something from my past. And you might not actually believe it, but coming up here, right here on the screen, is a photograph of none other than yours truly. That's right, that's me. Now notice what I said. I said it's me. I didn't say me when I was a kid. I said it's me because it's still me. Right here, this is me. You may recognize me from the movie Children of the Corn. But that's me. The same person over here reading minds, but I don't know what happened either. But I can now grow facial hair and I can drive a car, but that's still me. I always say as adults that we're actually just actors playing the part of an adult. Because we're in the matrix. You get up, you go to work, you pay your taxes, get your insurance, and before you know it, you start asking yourself a question, and that question is, man, where does the time go? Where does the time go? And I think I actually figured out the answer to that question. Time disappears in the moments when you go through life like a robot and you don't live with the same sense of wonder and imagination. And if you're in the events industry, our job is to take people out of the everyday into a special moment in time when they can recapture their sense of wonder and relax and experience something different and unique. And well, right now for this last one, I'm going to try to help all of you recapture your sense of wonder right here through the screen. But I need one of you to help me to do it. So if you want to make the final decision, it's a very simple one. You're going to have a choice between two objects. If you want to make that final decision, all you got to do is raise your hand or click the thumbs up reaction button. Madeline. Now I always wonder, is it Madeline, if you're from Paris? We're gonna unmute you, or you can unmute yourself, and we'll bring it. How are you?
I'm great. Madeline will do just fine.
Okay, I figured I always ask. So you have a simple choice to end this section of the show. And it involves two objects. I have an empty can of Coca-Cola or an empty can of Red Bull watermelon. Which one of these do you want to recycle?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Your call. I'm going to come up to the close-up camera so you folks can see everything. Check it out. Right here, you can see that the can is crushed. You can see it's open. Well, I'm sure you heard it was empty. But I want you to imagine that right now, every time my finger goes around this can in one rotation, I want you to imagine and believe we can go 1 minute back in time. I know it's weird, but just actually imagine and believe. And watch the dents in the can. And you're going to slowly start to see those dents come out of the can. That's right. The can is going back to where it was, and those dents are leaving. Now, when you're a kid, you have a wonderful sense of imagination, and you can picture things actually turning into reality. Now, of course, we still have a hole, but I want you to imagine that we can grab the hole and throw it away. Imagine we can grab the nothingness and get rid of it. Now, if you grab nothing and throw nothing away, that means you have a lack of nothing. And a lack of nothing is the presence of something. Like a seal. Yes, that's right. It is completely and utterly resealed. Now I want you to imagine that we can refill the can. Imagine from the bottom to the top, imagine we can fill it up. Just like you did when you were a kid, when anything was possible. See, it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. It's getting, listen. It's filling up. Keep going. I want every last drop back in the can. All of it. That is completely refilled. Now I want you to make it cold again. Why not, right?
Why not?
Make it colder and colder and colder and colder. It's getting colder. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when you leave here and you go back out to what we call the real world, I just want you to remember one thing, and that is this. Imagination is extremely powerful. And on that note, I'd like to make a toast to each and every one of you.
I must have some imagination.
That's all you, Madeline. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much, Wayne. I swear none of that was staged, people, I promise. We're all as blown away as everyone else. Thank you, Wayne Hoffman. I really appreciate you being here.
Of course, thank you.
And if you would like to book Wayne for any of your virtual events or in-person events, you can let us know. Want to thank Annalisa and Madeline and Bennett and the entire Productions team. Thank you so much to our guests, Christoph and Claude, Mario and Chaz, and Wayne. And thanks to Giggle and Riot for the fun photo booth. Let us know if you'd like to book any of the talent. I know that the Cal Academy has a lot of offerings for virtual events, and we're excited to partner with them for things, both in person and virtually. And wanted to remind you all that our next show is on October 22nd, and you can sign up right now for that. The link is in the chat. Tell your friends, your networks, you can bring your teams. Everyone's invited. We try to keep it PG enough for children to pop in and out of. So I think that's it. I think we're wrapping up. Thank you so much for being here. And I would just like to wish you a good night. And this thought is to stay or get creative. Thank you so much.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Ooh, yeah, daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Yes, you'll spread your wings and take to the sky. But till that morning, there's nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mama standing by. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. don't you